As a queen, there is no doubt that the queen owns a lot of stuff. Of course, when you are ruling a kingdom, you have ownership of many things. Queen Elizabeth II is wealthy. From designer clothes to grand estates and crown jewels, she has a hoard of possessions. But even apart from these expected things, there is a lot that the queen owns and we don't know about. Want to find out? Well then, let's get right to it. Number 1. All the swans on River Thames. The Queen technically owns all the unclaimed swans on the open waters of England and Wales. She shares her ownership with the Worshipful Company of Vintners and the Worshipful Company of Dyers, an arrangement dating back to the 15th century. Not just that, but every year there is a 5-day event called Swan Upping where all the swans are counted. Number 2. All the dolphins in the UK. Under a statute implemented in 1324 under King Edward II, monarchs technically own all the whales, sturgeons, dolphins, and porpoises in the UK. So if you accidentally catch one while fishing within 3 miles of England's shoreline, you are supposed to contact Buckingham Palace and offer it to the Queen as a gesture of loyalty. Number 3. A pair of Dorgis. We all know the Queen's love for corgis, but after her last corgi, Willow, died in 2018, the Queen kind of created a new breed of dogs. One of her corgis mated with a dachshund belonging to Princess Margaret, and the Dorgi was created. Now, the Queen has 2 Dorgis, Vulcan and Candy. It's debatable as to whether these dogs were the first time a dachshund and a corgi had ever mated. Number 4. Most of Regent Street. Regent Street is one of the world's most famous roads, situated in London's West End. Stretching for around 1.25 miles in length, the street runs through Piccadilly Circus and Oxford Circus, attracting more than 7.5 million visitors per year. Regent Street was London's first purpose-built shopping street. Today, it features international brands like Kate Spade, J.CREW, Burberry, and Kiehl's. Number 5. Half of the UK's shoreline. The Queen owns not only land and properties, but also half of the shoreline of the UK. According to the Crown Estate websites, the Queen owns the territorial seabed out to 12 nautical miles and around half of the foreshore around England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Number 6. Multiple royal residences. Buckingham Palace, with 775 rooms in all its glory, is the Queen's house. But it's not her only house. The lavish properties owned by the Queen include Windsor Castle, the largest occupied castle in the world; Holyrood Palace, a 12th century monastery in Edinburgh, Scotland that was turned into a royal palace; Hillsborough Castle, which spans 100 acres in Northern Ireland, the Sandringham estate where the royal family celebrates Christmas; and Balmoral Castle, the Queen's favorite summer estate. The last 2 properties are the Queen's personal possessions, which she inherited from her father. Number 7. More than 200 Launer handbags. The Queen prefers her handbags from luxury London designer Launer. The Royale and Traviata styles are her favorite, and she has around 200 of them. You might have noticed that the Queen is rarely seen without a handbag, which she also uses to send signals to her staff. Number 8. A private ATM. If the Queen ever needs access to cash, you won't find her rushing around to find an ATM. The Queen has a private ATM in her basement of Buckingham Palace. This ATM is only for the members of the royal family, courtesy of Coates Bank. Number 9. The Tower of London. The majestic Tower of London, built by William the Conqueror in the 1070s, is one of the most popular tourist attractions. Its official name is Her Majesty's Royal Palace and Fortress of the Tower of London, and houses the crown jewels. The tower has a flock of 7 ravens, and according to legends, the kingdom and the Tower of London will fall if 6 resident ravens ever leave the fortress. Number 10. 150,000 works of art. As the Queen, Her Majesty owns one of the largest and most impressive art collections in the world. She doesn't technically own it, but she's just in charge of it. This collection includes works from the masters like Rembrandt, Rubens, and Raphael. These artworks are displayed in museums, made available for public viewing, and hung in royal palaces and estates. Number 11. Queen Victoria's sketchbook. Passing personal artifacts down through generations is a common ritual. The same is true for the royal families, except that some of their artifacts become part of the royal collection. One such interesting artifact is Queen Victoria's sketchbook. Elizabeth's great-great-grandmother was an avid artist. She sketched regularly during her visits to Balmoral. The sketches were made for Queen Victoria's personal enjoyment and were not meant to be displayed to the public. Number 12. A team of racehorses. Horses have always been a passion of the Queen's. The Queen loves horse riding, but her love goes beyond that. She is also an amazing investor in racehorses. The Queen has approximately 30 horses in training, and her horses are prize winners. Her racehorses have earned her close to $9 million over the last 3 decades, with 451 wins. Number 13. A car collection worth more than $10 million. The Queen served as a truck driver and mechanic during World War II, so it's not very surprising that she loves to drive. While the Queen is most seen in her Land Rover Defender, her collection of cars is estimated to be worth about $10 million. Some of the cars in her collection include 3 Rolls-Royces, 2 Bentleys, and a custom Range Rover LWB Laundelet featuring the royal flag and an open-air top. Number 14. A tiara covered in 1,333 diamonds. Perhaps the best part of being queen is the tiara, and Queen Elizabeth has a lot of them. But among her many pieces, the most popular has to be the diamond diadem. This exquisite tiara is adorned with 1,333 diamonds, including a 4-carat yellow diamond in the center. The piece was originally made for George IV for his lavish coronation in 1821. Since 1952, the Queen has worn it to every state opening of Parliament. Number 15. A massive Fabergé collection. Do you collect coins, stamps, books? Well, the Queen also has a collection of Fabergé eggs and accessories. Queen Alexandra, along with her husband King Edward VII, started the tradition of collecting eggs and other accessories by the Russian jeweler and goldsmith Fabergé. It is a part of the royal collection, and today is estimated to include 600 pieces. Many pieces from the collection have been put on display to the public, including a blue cigarette case given to Edward VII by one of his mistresses, Alice Keppel. After the king's death, Queen Alexandra returned it to Keppel. Number 16. Westminster Abbey. Westminster Abbey is known as Royal Peculiar, which means that it belongs directly to the monarch. It has witnessed some of the most important moments in royal history, including every coronation since 1066, royal weddings, royal funerals, and memorial services. Number 17. Hyde Park. It is highly unlikely that you'd ever spot the Queen strolling around in Hyde Park, but she technically owns it. Along with that, she also owns Kensington Gardens, Regent's Park, and the Green Park. Number 18. A gold record. The Queen must be the only person to be awarded a gold disc without singing a single note. To celebrate the Queen's Golden Jubilee in 2002, a concert was recorded by talents like Elton John, Eric Clapton, Phil Collins, Paul McCartney, and Annie Lennox. Titled Party at the Palace, the album sold 100,000 copies in its first week of release. The Queen is the first member of the royal family to be awarded a gold record from the recording industry. Number 19. A colony of bats. The Balmoral Castle is also home to a colony of bats who have made themselves comfortable in the main hall of the property. It might be because the Queen is such a great animal lover that she doesn't mind their presence. The Queen likes to catch bats with the butterfly net as they zoom around in the house. She also points them out to her staff so that they can catch them with nets as well. Number 20. The world's largest clear-cut diamond. The Great Star of Africa, also known as Cullinan after South African mining magnate Sir Thomas Cullinan, is the largest clear-cut diamond in the world, worth an estimated $51 million. In 1910, this diamond and many other stones cut from an enormous diamond unearthed in South Africa 5 years earlier was presented to Mary of Teck, Elizabeth II's grandmother. The diamond was then incorporated into the sovereign scepter, a 3-foot-long gold staff originally made for Charles II. The 530-carat diamond is a part of the crown jewels now, which comes under the ownership of the crown. Number 21. An Aberdeen Angus cow. When the Queen went to Canada on an official visit in 2005, she was presented with an Aberdeen Angus cow at the Calgary Stampede Agricultural Show. However, the Queen wasn't able to bring her gift back home, so the cow remained in Calgary and became the founding member of the Stampede's own herd of cattle. Number 22. A sloth and 2 black jaguars. In 1968, the Queen went to Brazil on a state visit. There, she was gifted a sloth along with 2 black jaguars named Marcus and Izida by the prefect of Brasilia. The animals were housed at the ZSL London Zoo. A sloth isn't really what comes to mind when we think about offering a gift to a royal, but then what do we know? I'm sure they must have had their reasons. Number 23. 2 tortoises from Seychelles. During an official visit to the Seychelles in 1972, the Queen was presented with a pair of native Aldabra giant tortoises. These tortoises can live up to 200 years. They were also placed at the ZSL London Zoo. Other animals at the zoo that have been gifted to the Queen include an African forest elephant Jumbo, presented by President Amadou Hadjo of Cameroon, 2 American beavers, and an Arctic fox from Hudson's Bay Company, Canada. Number 24. Her own flag. Along with her own coat of arms, the Queen also has her own personal flag. It features the letter E wearing a crown in a circle of roses and on a navy blue background. The royal house can use this flag on any building or vehicle where the Queen stays or travels. The flag was apparently designed in 1960 at the Queen's request to symbolize herself as an individual, separate from her role as head of state. Number 25. 4 Guinness World Records. The Queen has earned not 1, not 2, not even 3, but 4 Guinness World Records. She is officially the world's longest reigning queen, the world's oldest reigning monarch, the world's wealthiest queen, and appears on the currency of more sovereign countries than any other person. Number 26. A gold Blue Peter badge. Blue Peter is a BBC television program that has been broadcast every single week in the UK since 1958, making it the longest-running children's television program in the world. The show is a pop culture legend in Britain, and it awards badges for all sorts of achievements in various fields. In 2002, the show awarded its highest honor, a gold Blue Peter badge, to Queen Elizabeth II to celebrate her 50 years on the throne. Some other gold badge honorees include J.K. Rowling, Steven Spielberg, and the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Number 27. An offshore wind farm. The Queen owns an offshore wind farm, the Thanet Offshore Wind Farm, located 7 miles off the coast of Kent in the North Sea. Upon its opening in 2010, it was the largest offshore wind farm in the world. The Crown also owns some other offshore green energy projects, like Europe's largest tidal power plant, which is currently under construction in Scotland. Number 28. All the gold mines in Scotland. The Queen owns the rights to all the gold mining activities that take place in Scotland. This means that any gold found in the mines automatically becomes the property of the Crown. Even if a regular citizen unearths any gold, it will go to the royal family. Number 29. 25,000 acres of the forest. Around 250,000 acres of rural land across the UK comes under the ownership of the Crown. Most of this land is leased for agriculture or mineral extraction. However, around 8% of the rural land is forested. This means that the Queen owns roughly 25,000 acres of British forest land. Number 30. Trafalgar Square. The Queen, along with owning a good part of Regent Street, also owns Trafalgar Square, which features landmarks like Nelson's Column and the British National Gallery. Why? This iconic site was originally the location of the royal stables and falconry mews. The land was cleared in the early 19th century, and the square was laid out by Sir Charles Barry. The ownership of the square went to the Crown, while the cost of management would be looked after by the Commissioners of Woods or the Board of Works. Number 31. Queen Victoria's wedding dress. The royal collection also includes Queen Victoria's wedding dress. Ever wondered why brides wear white? You have Queen Victoria to thank for that. Before Queen Victoria's royal wedding, the go-to colors for brides were red and other bright hues. But Queen Victoria's cream and white dress, made out of the best silk, satin, and lace, became so widely popular that it established white as the customary color of bridal gowns. She was not the first woman to wear white on her wedding day, not the first royal bride to do so, but she made it popular by example. Number 32. Henry VIII's armor. The royal collection also includes an impressive suit of armor that was once owned by Henry VIII. It was created sometime in the 1540s. This protective outfit, made of steel, leather, and gold, is interesting because it has been altered to accommodate the king's increasing waistline. The armor was widened at some point, with a 2-inch plate metal section, inserted and riveted into the back piece. The breastplate and backplate are also adjustable. Number 33. Her own tartan. The British royal family has Scottish roots. This is why the royal family has their own style of tartan, named Royal Stuart. This has been the official tartan of the members of the British royal line since the late 11th century. However, as the reigning monarch, the Queen is the only owner of a tartan named Balmoral, which is grey, black, and red. It was designed by Prince Albert, the Queen's great-great-grandfather, in 1853. Because she is the sole owner, even other members of the royal family technically have to ask the Queen's permission to wear it. Number 34. Millions of square feet of retail space. If you are shopping in the malls of the UK, there is a good chance that you are on royal property, and we aren't exactly kidding. The Queen partially or fully owns multiple retail spaces, shopping centers, and leisure properties that cover an estimated 7 million square feet of space. So much royalty all around, and yet it's not likely that you would get to meet the Queen at the mall. Number 36. A national collection of mulberries. In the 17th century, King James I planted a large mulberry grove on the site of Buckingham Palace. He planned to rear his own silkworms. The plan didn't prove to be successful, although the plantation continues to thrive there. Queen Elizabeth II is the owner of the plant's official British National Collection. She has 29 species of mulberry on the Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace grounds. Number 37. Several Caribbean islands. The Queen also reigns over the Commonwealth regions, which include Australia, Canada, and several Caribbean islands. Thus, the Queen kind of also owns the Caribbean islands, which include the Bahamas, Antigua and Barbuda, Belize, Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, and others. The Queen holds a specific title in each of these countries. For example, in Jamaica, she's known as Elizabeth II by the grace of God of Jamaica and her other realms and territories, Queen Head of the Commonwealth. Number 38. Prime seating at Wimbledon. In 2010, the Queen showed up at Wimbledon to watch Andy Murray play, surprising the crowd. This was the first time she had attended the tennis tournament in more than 30 years. In 1922, a 74-seat royal box was purchased at Wimbledon. It belongs to the Queen. The seats in this box are often filled by honored guests and government officials along with the royal family. These seats can only be filled upon request. Not just that, there's also a mandatory dress code for those seats. Number 39. A McDonald's. This might be the most surprising thing on the list, but yes, the Queen owns a McDonald's branch that is open to the public. Located 80 miles outside of London at the Banbury Gateway Shopping Park on the edge of Oxfordshire, the branch is fit for a queen. It has leather sofas, Eames chairs, laminate floors, digital menus, and table service. Which one of these items surprised you the most, and which ones did you already know about? Do you know of any other possessions that the Queen has which are not featured on this list? Let us know about them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and share it, and subscribe to our channel for more content just like this. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.